The postman, an explorer diplomat carrying invitations from the guild and his MUPB, and wearing SLBs, strode forward. MUPB Magical Universal Phrasebook, an expensive, enchanted book that could adapt to languages that its authors hadn't even encountered. SLB's 7-league boots. He strode forward. It was often difficult to see much detail while walking with SLBs. Just a brief glimpse at each boot landing location. Sometimes there were awkward accidents. Suddenly, in mid-stride, he felt a dampness around his toes on his forward foot, the one warning of a large body of water ahead. He stopped and withdrew his foot. He very carefully took a smaller step forward, a 1/7 of a league. If fraction steps didn't work, he might have to change boots, but he could smell salt on the breeze now. He took another tiny step forward. He found himself knee-deep in water. Well, measuring precisely was impossible anyway, so he carefully took off his boots and waded ashore. He had been sent by the guild to explore beyond the edges of their current postal rounds, to find new lands and new civilizations, to boldly go where no mail had ever been posted before. He had left behind the vast empires and great unions and republics of the heartlands immediately around Mt Earth, most of them broader than Mt Earth itself, the large nations and moderate-sized empires of the outer heartlands, the numerous small nations and kingdoms of varying sizes that covered the vast midlands, even the fiefdoms and territories at the fringes of the guild's postal rounds. Now he was several weeks' journey into the unknown. He had already added a few more fiefdoms to the map to later receive new post offices. But now, for the past couple of weeks, he was going through mainly uninhabited wilderlands, apart from the occasional isolated village or town. Staring out across the water, he got out his quinticular periscope to get a higher viewpoint, a whole league higher. The quinticular periscope, designed at the Institute of Entquaggle, is taller on the inside. To get a higher viewpoint, as he had been doing a couple of times a day to add to the map. Failing to sight any land or opposite shore, he attached the telescope module. Still nothing. One needs to remember that in a world without curvature, one should, in theory, be able to see further in suitable conditions. What sort of sea or ocean was this? Wait. What might be a tiny island out to his right? It probably wouldn't be a good idea to try and step directly to the island and hope to island hop across the water. It would require very precise measurement. Better to look for a coastal town or village or something that might have a boat. If there was any habitation around, then the coast was a likely place for it. He started looking along the shore with his quinticular periscope. That could be a village over there to the right with that plume of smoke. Nothing the other way, so putting his boots back on, he decided to head right. As he expected to be there in a couple of steps, he didn't tie his boots up too thoroughly. It took longer than he expected to reach the area where he had seen the plumes of smoke. Then it turned out to be the outskirts of a city rather than an isolated village, and he was encouraged to head further in to the city proper. That was Tales from Mt Earth and Surroundlands, Tales of Postal Exploration. Thank you for listening.